Thank you for your interest in the Retained Recruiter show powered by iIntro. Before the show starts, I have a small favour to ask of you. Our goal is to provide you with the most insightful, helpful and practical recruitment knowledge and know-how from the best in the recruitment industry. If you like this channel and enjoy watching our content, hit the subscribe button to get notified as soon as we upload a new episode. Thank you again, and as ever, we're rooting for your success. Now, time for the show. Hello and welcome to the Retained Recruiter show. My name is James.
And my name is Jo. And thank you all so much. I know we've got a big crowd today, so thank you all so much for joining us. And as you can see, we are not alone, James, are we?
No, thank goodness we're not alone. I'm sure people have listen to me and you, Jo. No, they're not. They should always look in and listen back to them. But let's introduce our special guest today, Brad Shackleton. Hello, Brad.
Hey, guys. How are we doing?
Hey, Brad.
Very good, thank you. Brad, I'm just going to introduce you. For those who don't know, Brad Shackleton is a motivational sales and leadership coach, and he specializes in coaching, motivating, and developing high-performance sales teams around the world on behalf of CEOs, entrepreneurs, sales directors, and sales professionals who aspire to be the number one leaders in their industry. Brad is a proven £1 million biller, having specialized in London's investment banking sector, and he's the former global top biller of an international FTSE 250 recruitment company, employing in excess of 2,500 recruiters worldwide. Over the past 15 years, Brad has developed and coached over 6,000 CEOs, sales directors, and sales professionals in sales and leadership around the world across multiple industries, including recruitment, financial services, insurance broking, telecoms, aviation and aerospace, super yacht sales and charter, that sounds interesting, and Formula One as well. And he is regularly invited to speak about sales and performance development at national sales and recruitment conferences in both the UK and internationally. Brad, we are delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you very much. That felt like the introduction to Mastermind.
I think you can go now. I think yeah. Did we miss anything out, Brad?
No, listen, I liked it. It was short and sweet.
That's very good. Very good.
Short and sweet. That's the longest introduction we've ever had. But well done, Brad. That's a very impressive career track record, and shows people who are looking today, what they can learn from sort of tuning in for the next 45 minutes or so. So, Jo, what are we going to cover today?
A lot. So this is normally a 30-minute session. It's now a 45-minute session, and I think we're going to be hard pressed to try and fit it all in. There's going to be a lot of really good tips, I think, today. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's everything to do with business development, so how to win new business in 2024. So we're going to be talking about how to do that, picking Brad's brains about top sort of tips, techniques, and strategies that he would advise. We're also going to be looking at what part does coaching and training play in that. And what's going to be crucial next year to allow these businesses to go into growth mode, what the key challenges are going to be for recruitment firms in 2024. We've hit that part of the year now where we're all starting to look at 2024. So, looking forward to picking your brains today, Brad. My
pleasure. Thank you for having me. And thank you very much, Lee, for inviting me along. So whatever I can share or whatever I've learned, I'll do my very best for you guys.
Good. Brilliant. So, Brad, let's just start with yourself. I gave you a bit of an intro, but why don't you give a different version of an intro just to sort of excite people and tell us what you want to cover today and what you think you can help people with, because we're here today to help educate people on what they need to do better in 2024 than they've done in 2023 and 2022 and so on. So what is it that you can sort of share with people about what we're discussing?
Sure. Yeah. So just before I say, if my guard dog kicks off with anyone kind of coming across the farm, I'll apologise now. It's a lethal beast, but I'll have to introduce you to her should it kick off. Stay calm. So thank you for having me. Look, I think we had this chat before the session today, just to really get people to think about what are their plans for next year. And I think this is a time where everyone starts to get really excited about Christmas, and so they should do. It's time to be with family. And we start to wind down. And I totally agree. Let's have a great time with our family and with our loved ones. But why not just start to think about, what's the plan for next year? Did I achieve my commercial goals this year, my personal goals for myself, my family, and whoever else is involved in my personal life? But ultimately, what were my commercial goals for last year? Whose business did I want? Which markets did I want to target or develop? And ultimately, did I achieve that? And how did I do it? If I did, or if I didn't, then why not? And rather than review it in January, or people kind of get the January blues for the first week of January, let's review it week 2, week 3. The MD puts around an email. We're going to go off site week 3 of January. What about your competition who already works on Jan 1 plan as of now? And so I just wanted to kind of create this opportunity for people just to think about some very basic, ideas that I might have as to how we need to be thinking for 2024. And I don't proclaim to be a guru at all. I just would like to share my experiences as a salesperson, which ultimately I do every day in winning my own business. But ultimately, what I've learned, what I'm seeing, what I'm coaching with other companies, and ultimately the success that they're achieving.
Brilliant. So Brad, in terms of our market, the people who are listening in today should all be running or certainly involved at a senior level in the recruitment industry, and we really want to focus them on coming out of for some it's been an amazing year, but for some, as ever, there's always ups and down cycles in the world of recruitment, as we all know, having been around it for so long. And obviously with your experience, as I say, and when I gave you that intro, obviously we talked about lots of other industries, but the bit that people who are listening today have known you, be aware of, they've probably seen you at things like the Rec Agency Expo, where obviously you're a very well sought after speaker there to sort of excite and engage and exhilarate people with which is very sort of what's the word, it brings you along anyway. I can't think of the word that it should be. Senior moment there. But what we need to do is start thinking about what are those challenges that are out there, because from our perspective at iIntro and using the Retained Recruiter Academy as our vehicle, we cover many of the areas that you cover. And people sometimes say to us, well, why are you inviting somebody who does the same thing? Well, we're believers in actually sharing information around and actually helping people get the best out of it. And if it's right for you and you think that either us or Brad can help you sort of drive that business forward, then we're going to give you various calls to action as we go through today, where you can get in touch with us what you should do. But Joe, why don't we kick off with a question? Let's get Brad responding to it, because people want to listen to him, not you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
apologies, the guard dog is just trying to get up. Carry on.
Oh, look.
You better be
terrifying.
I'm the Bond villain, except it's not a cat.
Yeah. We have ways of making you talk.
How you doing?
Introduce the guard dog. What's his name?
Little Ruby, and she's the big guard dog on the farm where I live. Absolutely lethal. Frightens everyone that comes near her. There you go. Right,
small dogs are terrifying.
Quick bit of recognition.
Yeah. So I know we've spoken recently, because it's nice to chat about our observations of what we think is going on in the market, and I want to come to the question of what do you think the key challenges are going to be for recruitment next year. But it'd be great to just find out from you, Brad, what are you seeing out there in the market when you're speaking to businesses at the minute, particularly around that new business piece?
Okay, fine. So there's two such challenges, or maybe three. Actually, I'll categorize this into three separate challenges. So let's take the business as a whole, and this is for a company. You can be a one-man band, five-man, or lady band, or multi-million-dollar turnover company. The business have specific goals next year that they would like to achieve based on ultimately how they performed this year. So there are specific, could be market challenges, could be competition, could be markets that are growing, markets or companies or clients that potentially are declining in terms of their demand for potential contractors and permanent in a certain niche market. So ultimately, we need to have a plan in terms of how do we overcome those market challenges right now, external. Then we've got the internal challenges of the business. And for me, that's about what are the specific internal human capital performance challenges that our people are facing in terms of talent development, talent attraction. But then what sales performance challenges are they facing right now? And are they market related, which they possibly could be, I'm sure will be. But aside from the market, what are our own internal performance challenges that we face as a salesperson? That could be possible lack of confidence, maybe lack of motivation. If people have had a tough year and they're tired, it could be people that, for example, I call kind of the lockdown hires, people that may have been hired, relatively young and inexperienced, with a big plan for an internal training program or send them on an external program. Sadly, COVID and then lockdown arrived, and I'm working with a lot of companies right now where people are experienced between 1 and 3 years. I've got a hair in my mouth. It's the dog. Apologies. Between 1 to 3 years of experience, who learned a transaction-based game that didn't require you having to leave your screen.
Yeah.
And now suddenly you've got to jump on a plane, a train, an automobile, and go out and actually reach out to those companies. And by the way, it's less account management now for a certain consultant, which they were given 2 or 3 accounts. Now's the time to really show your value. Us as owners and business leaders, get the maximum value out of you in terms of your performance and capability. And there are people that, I'm working with a lot of companies right now that where the consultants themselves say, this is great because you're coaching me the basics or the process of how I go out there and build a name for myself and the business, not just one or the other. And I need some help, with a plan, a strategy, the techniques. What do my activities look like? How should I measure myself? So that's the salesperson's job, because ultimately they want to achieve the maximum outcome for themselves and the business. Some companies focus on what can you do for me, but it's really important as a leader in the company and manager, director, that we find out why they're in this game. And I mean, this word's been going around now for a few years. What's my why? It's the first thing I coach on my sales academy day one, is to understand, what are your whys? What's my why? I love what I do. I've been in this game a long time. I charge good money, but what I really care about is, can I help people that maybe can't get the time and guidance from their leaders, who could be phenomenal leaders, phenomenal salespeople, but I've got the time for them because it's all I do. Whereas you're trying to run a business and trying to work it out, if you're not a coach, as to the best way to engage, what the content should be, what's the follow-up, what's the accountability. I call it the homework. People like myself and you guys and other coaches, Joe, we spend our lives making it our trade, our discipline. So you've kind of got three challenges: market challenges, the sales challenges of the actual sales team, and then the leadership challenges of either maybe the leaders don't have a answer to overcoming sales, the market challenges, and secondly, they might not have an answer as to, going back to your point, James, how do I engage my crew? How do I get them motivated to engage with me? And my God, that is a cocktail in itself between, well, who's the coach? What's their credibility and background? What's the content? What's their energy? I'm known for a big energy. That's what I love to be, and I always am. So how do I give them big energy? But then I've got to deliver innovative content. That's then got to be supported by innovative intellectual property that I can embed into my business, not necessarily the CRM, but actually when I go out to meet with a client, how do I structure the meeting? How do I qualify that meeting? What are the 5 parts to our pitch? And so on and so forth. And it requires a leader who's got the answers to that, can lead from the front and demonstrate and say, follow me, this is how you do it, rather than you get out there and send your results back to me and I'll do some box ticking. And finally, if I have gone out there and done it and I lead from the front, there's got to be a follow-up in terms of to some specific coaching content. So for me, there's 3 challenges for next year. What are your business challenges? What are our leadership challenges? And then what are the challenges of my team that report to me in terms of winning new business? Or as an individual, I don't have a team. It's down to me. I'd love some access to working with some other people that are ambitious, aspiring to be number one, and join a team or a journey with someone like myself and other people. That's the 3 things people should think about in terms of big picture for next year.
Okay. One of the things that challenges that you'll see as a coach, and we all see this, because when we talk about why will coaching and training be crucial for next year, and we can talk about the different parts, but one of the things that business owners, because is it one of those pieces of spend that gets overlooked because people just say, I'll just get by, because your people got to watch the cash, and obviously investing in training and coaching from that side of things. People are trying to understand, what is the ROI? What's the return on investment I'm going to get for this one? So part of the discussion is what we encourage people to invest in training and coaching, as well as why it's important.
Okay, James, that's a great question. I think the first thing all business owners want to do is they want to maximize their profit and they want to manage their costs. Training, for some reason, I would say probably quite a lot of companies maybe is quite down low on that scale. But the smart companies, the smart individuals that go, I want to be number one, how do I get there? are going to want to create the maximum performance out of themselves as a leader and as an owner, but also out of their people. And not just about what can they do for me, but what can I do for them to maximize their performance, to love what they do, and to become the go-to people in their industry. You know, I mean, I'm a Formula One nutter. I love my F1, you know, and I'm don't do it now because that's not part of the chat. But, you know, I wouldn't want to be Bottas. You know, she's gone from always coming second to Hamilton. Okay, you ideally want to be first. You won a few races, to being mid-pack. That guy knows he'll never be in the top 10 or rarely and gets a few points. So why would you as a business or an individual want to be mid-pack? You want to be number one, right? So then you have to say, well, how can I give them the greatest chance of success for that? I'll tell you what, we'll save money. Us three managers, us three leaders, you know, we'll work out the content. We'll do a day here, we'll do a day there. Honestly, I'm not young. I've been around a while, and you know, the feedback is they don't follow up. The day was meant to happen, got cancelled, and it's just like, you know, if you want to fly somewhere, you've got a professional pilot in the front seat, not someone trying to work out how to steal the flight. invest in a good coach. Doesn't have to be me, but someone who's been there and done it, can prove it. Make your decisions based on have they got the energy, have they been there and done it, what's your system look like, and I'll come and see anyone who's interested in that. But invest in your people, because I tell you what, cost of coaching is a fraction of the cost of your business of average performance or underperformance, and that's not just in terms of billings. That's just that they actually might leave. And I'll tell you why. Most companies can try and match salary, base, package, promotion, but few companies can match good coaching programs. And again, in terms of how are you going to develop me? How are you going to develop me as an individual to achieve the promotion in terms of performance? So I really love what I do, rather than just being another person on a desk, mid-pack in the competition. I'm all about wanting to work with companies and individuals that want to absolutely smash it. And I'll take full accountability for that. So that's where I sit. And I will. I'll take full accountability, for high performance. I thought, all good coaches take accountability for what they deliver. Most coaches do a 1 or 2 day, here's my invoice, I wish you luck, you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
For those that want that follow-up from me, no charge. I want the results, the testimonials, and the why of what I said, what I do what I do, is that I've helped someone achieve some of their goals. There's a great guy here, I want to give a shout out, Graham Cross. I know he's on here somewhere. A guy I coached a long time ago, Blaine Dawes, people that are kindly watching today and been promoting me, that 4, 5, 6, 8 years on, they're still applying my stuff and I'm still in contact with them and I consider them friends, not just clients. That's, I think, what good coaching should be about, that they become friends and family, long term, if they want that relationship.
Absolutely. And it should be a long-term relationship, shouldn't it? And every business, I absolutely agree with you. Every business, if you're investing in training and coaching, mentoring for your staff, you need to be asking those trainers and coaches and mentors, what is your return on investment? How do you measure return on investment from your training? Another side of that. So we have got, Megan's asked a question, actually. She said, is this being recorded? And the answer is yes. So we're going to be able to share the replay probably from about tomorrow. We put that on our YouTube channel. Brad will be sharing that as well. So the whole thing's being recorded. Jennifer JP says, cute. I don't know if she's referring to you or the dog, Brad, to be honest.
I'll take both.
You take it. Take the credit. Yeah, absolutely. So training, coaching, really, really valuable for your business. Definitely worth investing in. As we know, trainers and coaches aren't there 100% of the time. So what do you think that business owners, managers and team leaders should be doing back at the desk to enable the greatest possible success out of their consultants?
Great question. Number one, attend the coaching program.
Yes.
In my early days, when I've learned to become a coach, the only reason I got into coaching very quickly, and I'm keen to get into some specific content about winning new business and not just discussing the coaching side. As people say, yeah, thanks for that. Brad, we're in teachers. So we'll do that in a couple of minutes. But in terms of what the hell did you just say to me?
Why I got
coaching? Yeah, so it was just purely by accident. I had a major skiing accident in 2007 and decided to race a mate of mine down a black run in bad light, stupid dare. And I got the short end of the stick and I broke 23 bones and I had a lot of injuries. And I spent a long time in hospital. And that is how I had the chance to think about, well, how do you become, pretty good in sales? What does that look like? So when I moved into coaching initially and I was finding my way as a coach, lots of leaders wouldn't attend, just kind of, oh, there you go, fix them. And I hated that mentality. I'm like, well, you need to attend and take an interest in them and that they see you're as engaged as they are. And I'll tell you why, apart from finding some love with your crew, is that they've got to buy into the systems that maybe I coach or someone else does. And they are responsible, not me. They're responsible for embedding that into the business. And a good coach should leave a foolproof system behind with reporting systems, which I do, that I will take a call once a month, once a week, whatever they prefer. Every night if they want. I always say to any good client, I'm available 24/7. But have your go-to person to help you, but they need to live and breathe. And ultimately, we need to coach them in how I coach or we as coaches coach, believe in the systems, and now you're responsible. I'll set it up. I'll tell you, I'll coach you how to deliver it. Now you deliver it. So, go back to your coaching notes, review videos and all the homework. I get people to create daily diaries of each coaching session that I run so that they can then reflect back on that each week, each month, morning reviews, weekly 60-second BD updates that are sent to me, my clients, the leaders and so on. So there's a load of accountability that I can help people with if they want to learn more.
Yeah, and helps to kind of promote consistency, which is kind of what you want to get people into, isn't it? It's forming new habits.
Yeah, listen, practice makes perfect, right? So you've got to do it thousands of times. I think Michael Jordan said that he missed 12,000 shots. There's a great link if you want to drop me a DM on the greatest speech that Arnold Schwarzenegger ever gave regarding motivation. And apparently Michael Jordan told him that he missed 12,000 shots on goal or on the hoop, something like that, to achieve his capability. So this has to be done daily and nightly. You have to live and breathe it, which I know you guys live and breathe your business. I live and breathe my business. So you wake up in the night, I make a little note or I tap it into my phone. I go for a long walk, across the countryside on the South Downs where I live. Think about how can I help businesses and improve my own performance. You've got to live and breathe what you do. And if you don't, find something that you do love, because we've only got one chance in life, and we only have one life. And I'm going to put a shout out there because she was always a shy lady. But, despite my energy, Joe asked, these lovely flowers here were down to the 3-year anniversary of me losing my mother yesterday, 13th of November. And I know that life can be short and we never know when our last day is. So all I'll say to you without getting emotional is please love what you do. And if you don't, tell your boss or don't tell your boss. Do what you've got to do to find your passion in life, because life isn't all about money. It's about being happy, and health is wealth, as I've learned, in losing my mum and everything else. So my big energy now is that mum's at peace, and how many people can I help? Rather than unfortunately carrying that dark cloud over me of losing mum. So yeah, the light is bright, and I want to help as many people as I can.
Good. Well, Brad, why don't we think about helping some people? Let's give some specifics, because I know you got some key points. At the end of these key points, what we'll do is we'll share with some people how they can actually attend one of your programs. But let's give people a little taster of what you can offer. Okay. What would you like to ask me, or would you like me to share some principles?
Go for it. Go for it, Brad.
Okay, fine. So
the right thing, we'll tell you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Okay. So for all of you listening in, pen to paper. Or get tapping, and let's do a quick bit of coaching. People come up with a lot of different ideas on how to win new business, this year or next year, and it can be very content heavy. And you walk away with a pad of notes in here, and it all looks like this, and it's full of information. And it was a great training day at some hotel, and then it gets dropped down there, and it's forgotten, and we can't find it. I believe coaching needs to revolve around anchors. And for me, the content's underneath it. But for me, there are 5 key things to how do you become a sales champion in 24? How do you become the go-to person in your industry in 24? And for me, there are 5 key things that if you consider and take away today, and I'll leave you in your own smart time working on the business, not in the business, or after the gym tonight, or go for a drink or walk the dog and think about how can I find room for improvement. I guarantee you can, I can, we all can. The first is when you want to win new business, you want to engage with a new client, and you want to make a name for yourself, you need to have energy. And I call it the 5 Ps. And the first P for me, and everyone I coach, because sales hasn't changed, the number 1 P, the first P is passion. And if you take an advert, when you go and make a cup of tea, pop to the loo, if you watch a show or the sport, whatever it may be, F1, rugby, football, when the ads come on, up goes the volume, right? And if you listen tonight, I'm a big fan of LBC, current affairs, politics, and as we all know, it kicked off last night and today. When the adverts come on, I'm like, Jesus, it's a bit like how I used to walk into mum's house. I was like, hello, mum, can you hear me? Bless her. She's like, speak up. I was like, turn it down. So the first thing is we need some noise, right? And not overpowering. And I'm pumped up because I'm in coaching mode now. But, we need to have some passion about who we are, what we do, and why I'm approaching you. I get a lot of LinkedIn requests. And if it says, hey, I see that we share similar connections, it'd be great to connect. I don't accept, right? If you can't be bothered to explain to me why, and I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but I'm trying to help. And you just send out a LinkedIn request and you don't even explain who you are and why are you. I mean, that's just like someone coming here and knocking on my window saying, can I come in? Well, who are you? So you've got to have a hook, right? And that passion needs to have a hook. What do I know about your business? What do I know about you? What do I know about your hobbies, your interests? And you've got to find a hook and deliver that with some passion. Via an email, via a WhatsApp message, do a piece to camera. LinkedIn allows us now to send videos. I hardly tap anything on LinkedIn apart from doing a post. It's all on voice note. So I want people to hear my energy. I've spoken to tons of people today about today, or they had questions, or can I get a recording of it? I do it all via voice note. So I want people to see that I love what I do. So the first thing is passion. And I'd ask you to score yourself out of 10 on how would you describe the level of passion you have right now that you share with your clients and your candidates. And if you be honest with yourself. So the first thing is passion. And you might be 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I don't care. But be honest with yourself and your team. Or if you're a leader right now, start scoring someone maybe you're concerned about. That's your passion, okay, out of 10. The second thing is, before you go to market, is the second P is proposition. What is our proposition? And the best people that can pitch their business is usually the owner, okay? Or if you're a small business and you're just starting out, and I work with loads of those people, entrepreneurs that have decided to go on their own, they're still kind of working out what's my offer. You've got to know what your offer and your proposition is. And ultimately, a good proposition doesn't need to be about who you are. It's about what gift can I bring you? And that gift, mate, is all about how do you help other companies? How do you help other candidates? How do you help other clients? How do you do that? You know, and so you've really got to start thinking about, this isn't just who I am, but how do I help people? And that's got to be defined and produced into some really specific content, structured. And I go back to my point of a larger business, the best person that can pitch their business is usually the owner. If you walk round, or when you're out for a drink with the team, or you're on your way out to go and get some lunch, and just say that in 20 seconds, who are we? What do we do? Pitch me. So I say, you've got a card. Can I link in with you? And I'm not trying to pick on anyone. People really struggle with it. And I did it on stage 4 weeks ago at the Expo in Birmingham. And I said, right, the second thing you need to know is your pitch and your proposition. Who's confident in who they are and what they do? That someone said, you got a card? Can we link in with each other? And it was like, 25%, 30%, 40% of hands went up, maybe 50%. I was like, great, let's do it. On your feet. And they're like, oh my God. I said, right, we're at a networking event. And I want you to find someone you don't know. Most people, they're on their own part. This is not with your buddy. Turn behind. First of all, introduce yourself. Big firm handshake. Hi. Good eye contact. Confident. And you've got 20 seconds. And I said, guys, I want you to be the client or the candidate. And it's really simple. If you like what they do, you got a card. If you don't like what they do, just say thanks very much. Okay? And people went, and I played a bit of gladiator music to get everyone in the zone, bit of Rocky, bit of Eye of the Tiger, and tell my age, and provide it down. And I said, I'll give you 2 minutes. And it's like, rising up back on the street. And everyone's tapping their feet going, this guy's nuts. And I said, right, let's do this. Find a partner, pitch. Well, number one, they all met someone. I said, great, you guys should now link in with each other, start to become buddies beyond today. You made a great contact. But how was the pitch? And show of hands who thinks they nailed it. And it was like that. People didn't feel that confident with it. So think about your pitch. Who are we? What do we do? How do we do what we do? What's our backstory as a company? What's my personal backstory? What kind of results can I share with you? And then the icing on the cake is, what's your philosophy? Why do you do what you do and what makes you different? And you've really got to master that. So already, I know I'm speaking fast because I've got my eye on the clock, but already some people should now be thinking, right, what's my passion? Next thing I'm going to ask you to do, everyone that's listening, score yourself out of 10 right now for how well do you as a company or individual pitch your business? How confident are we at knowing it? And number two, what's our real capability to actually pitch that? And that for me is really important. Okay, I always say there's no point going to work, getting up in the morning, whether you're working from home today like I am, or you're going out on a meeting, or you're going to start, it's Monday, lunchtime, Tuesday morning, whatever it is, let's start hitting my network to re-engage or approach new clients, unless your passion and proposition are fully combined together. Great passion, but no bait, you won't catch any fish. Low fat, poor passion, ready to go fishing, but great bait, you won't catch many fish. So they're the two main things. The third P then is the profitability. And what I mean by profitability is, where can I make money in my sector? Who are the people that I should be speaking to? Do some market mapping down your vertical. And I don't believe generalist recruitment can anyway compare to people that are niche providers, niche players in the market right now as BD, recruitment, delivery executors. Some companies, for example, that I work with, and I had a great meeting with another company before I came on here. We were on Zoom for an hour and a half. They've got a BD team that are just out there to win the business. Then they've got a really strong delivery team that purely focus on taking the opportunity they've won from the candidate and now passing it out to the candidates. And it's incredible. So they're niche players in these key verticals across various industries. So the key thing is, do we know who they are? And I bet you're not speaking to all of them. Why aren't you? And also, the biggest problem we have in lockdown, and what we've had, I think, up until now, and we won't necessarily have next year if there's any kind of downturns in the market, is when it comes to potential clients, lots of people say, I've got loads of jobs on. Yeah, great. Well, what's the conversion rate? Yeah, how many are you actually placing? And they go, I don't know, 25%, one in full. I go, great. So 75% of what you guys do as a business, your ROI is zero.
Yeah.
Your conversion rate needs to be 75%. When I was a recruiter, my conversion rate was 75%. I placed 3 and 4 positions because the client says I'm hiring, but I'll decide. A candidate says, I want to move. Yeah, I want to move. I'll decide. For me, if you read my rules of engagement, so you need an awesome qualification system that this person I'll invest my time in. Because take contingent recruitment, or whether it's exclusivity or limited exclusivity, that you're not getting paid as a contingent recruitment. Part retainers right now, but on the contingent front, you're not getting paid for that. And if you are going to win a retainer, you better deliver on it on the third that you've just charged up front, and the second third for the provision of CVs. And then am I presenting the first 3 or 4 or 5 that I found, or potentially, am I just presenting, the real quality in the marketplace? So from a profitability perspective, make sure that you know who you should be speaking to, then ask when you last spoke to them, and then work out how I re-engage. Second thing with winning new business, doesn't have to be a new client. So why climb to the top of the tree where you might break your neck? Let's start at the bottom of the tree. Re-engage with all my existing customers, historical customers, my ambassadors who will fly my flag. Have I caught up with them recently? Who could they introduce me to? Right, who are the people that I've not spoken to for a while? I pitched them, I approached them, they didn't buy from me, re-engage with them before you start kind of hanging out on the higher stuff that could take more time to climb and be effective in how you climb it. Right, score yourself out of 10 right now for how good is our profit looking, that we know our marketplace and we're speaking to everyone. Most people are about 4 or 5 out of 10. I'm only on the third P. The fourth P, now we're into productivity. I've got the passion, I've got the proposition. I know where I want to target my passion and proposition on a daily basis. Fourth P is the productivity. Well, how do I do it? So back to fishing. I need more than one rod. I need more than one net, depending on the sort of person, size of company, small, medium, large, who I'm trying to approach. And I always say, think about your quick wins. Where can I find some quick wins? And then what's the kind of longer marathon? I don't plan to win your business for at least 6 months. And then you've got to start thinking about, what's my touch point strategy going to be? It can't be 10 calls every week for 10 weeks. Possibly keep on catching up when it gets boring. And it's like, go away. So I go back to the proposition. You need a variety of values, a variety of different gifts and reasons to connect that aren't all, can I just recruit for you right now? Because what we're trying to do is build a relationship with these people. And if I may take Kate to continue here with you guys on this, what's the relationship all about? James, Joe, without kind of picking on you too much or asking you to review this, and James, you shared with me that you've only had one eyes for one lady for the last 40 years. You're a lovely lady, whatever the time was. Beautiful thing you said to me, and I love that. The reason why you guys got together and you've stayed together is for 3 reasons. And if you say, Brad, I don't want this, shut up, I will. But it's
where's this going? Hang on.
You've got to know each other, you've got to like each other, and you've got to trust each other. And that didn't happen overnight. It happened over a period of time. The relationships, and hey, I've had them, and I'm sure we all have at some point in our life, fall apart when I don't really know. I know you, but I don't like you anymore. I know you, kind of like you, but I certainly don't trust you. Get out. So now that is true, right? As to why we're still married or not. So, or we're still with a partner, or we're enjoying single life. It's no different in business. They won't engage with you unless they have had the time to get to know you, get to like you, get to trust you. Now that no like trust could happen in one meeting, but what if it doesn't? And look, thanks for coming to see us, but the timing isn't quite right, and we can find out why and try and come back and overcome the objection. But then most people give up, and I'll give you some stats here. So I think 10% of sales are made on literally the first to second contact, but 80% of sales are made on anywhere between 7 to 12 points of contact over a period of time. So if I was you, I'd say, right, what are the 7 to 12 different reasons of how can I date with you? You didn't just keep on going to the pub every night getting hammered. It was maybe dinner, it was for a drink, it was going for a walk, it was a cinema, a restaurant, a night away, whatever it may be. You need to, and you spend more and more time, let's get together. And you correct me if I'm wrong, and hey, these are just my views and principles, but it works for me, and it works in how I coach people. Let's spend some time getting creative on how can we get known, liked, and trusted, and deliver on whatever promises and delivery promises we offer in our proposition. So that's your product. And then, by the way, that's different rods, different nets. And now I've got to be doing loads of it consistently to catch these fish. So I've now got, and again, score yourself out of 10 for productivity. And finally, so I've got the passion, I've got the proposition. Profit, I know who I should be speaking to, and I am. And I'm fishing with different rods and different nets, and I'm killing it. But what if you can't actually get the fly or the hook out there in the first place to plant that bait, getting through to the right person? When I do, now it's showtime. And what I mean by showtime is I love boxing, I love martial arts. It's fight night. So is it going to be one of those or is it kind of, a Rocky style? I'm not going to say Tyson Fury right now. I'm Mike Tyson, on point, delivered, and the message is delivered. Now, I'm not suggesting we should get aggressive. But what I'm suggesting is, are you ready for the fight? And let's take that word out of it necessarily. But it's now a game of poker. Two people meet on the phone, Zoom, face-to-face. How are we now going to start playing with each other? Because that is a good sales meeting, right? They've got questions. Oh, my God, that's not what I thought it was going to be. There's 3 of them, and I thought there'd be 1 of them. So now I'm the 5th piece of the process. And that is your ability to introduce yourself, pitch your business, structure the meeting, qualify the client, pitch your proposition as a business, my personal, what service and products am I offering, ability to answer questions and handle them, overcome objections, close that client, agree next step, do the deal. And now go and find the candidate, whatever it may be. That's 10 things I just mentioned then. Score yourself out of 10 for that. Now, I'll summarize. Take those 5 scores and add them up. Is it 25 out of 50? Is it 30 out of 50? Multiply your score that you gave yourself times 2, and you've now got percentages on how efficient you are at winning new business. Congratulations, but I don't care about that. How inefficient are you? I'm 45% inefficient. Why? Now break your 5 Ps down, work out where you're going wrong, and they sit within a triangle. Here's the passion and the proposition, sending it into the profitability, here's productivity, here's process. They all sit together. 1 P will collapse that triangle. So to win new business in 2024, you need to master your 5 Ps. Think about all the content that goes into that, or drop me a line and I can help you with it. And then really start to spar with each other and your team and with yourself on a walk or after work or before work, to really start to love your trade and your techniques of how you do what you do. And then go and try it. Who cares if you fail? Who cares if you fail? Cool. That won't happen again. I'll learn from it and I'll push on. And a lot of people are too scared to fail, and therefore they rarely really act upon what they possibly could seriously do very well at.
Yeah, very true.
Quick, he's drinking. We can talk.
He said he's drinking. He's drinking. Quick, we can talk. That was a very succinct, excellent summary, and your 5 Ps, which I think is brilliant, very memorable, isn't it, James?
It is. And for those of you who'd like to sort of connect with Brad's actually running an event next Tuesday. Yes. And if you're interested in attending, it's in London. So I know we've got people watching from the west coast of the US to Australia, to wherever. But there's some information there where just basically direct mail, DM Brad via LinkedIn and just ask him for some boot camp information. And he's running one of those next week. So if we can help you.
Yeah, I'll happily send out the information. Listen, all it is it's kind of a summary of today, but really kind of deep diving. It's a 1-day session at the Queen's Tennis Club in London next Tuesday, where I'm going to be working with a variety of different businesses, small, medium, and large, recruiters, sales consultants, managers, directors, business owners, and have some really quality time with you to share with me about your business, where are you now, where do you want to be next year, and how we can help you get there. And I'm going to basically take people into the 5 Ps, run a psychometric test to share more details of what I did right now, but more deep dive to really work out where are you strong and where are you weak. A beautiful lunch in the clubhouse and a tour of the club. And in the afternoon, we're going to start with passion. What's your why and your proposition? And I want to hear your pitch. You're going to pitch me, pitch everyone else in the room, and I'll teach you how to restructure it, redefine your presentation from an elevator pitch, but also more corporate degree of presentations for winning retainers, exclusivity, limited exclusivity. It's an awesome day. Send me a DM and I'll send you the information via email and via LinkedIn. And I'd love to help as many people as I can. So you're off the blocks and you're out of the blocks first on Jan the 1st, not trying to figure it out, scratching your head in February. Your competition will be ahead of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you're already in January and thinking about what you need to do, then you're too late. If you can see the bandwagon, you're already too late, aren't you? So that's great. You need to start thinking about it now. Absolutely.
Joe,
very much so.
I thought of something when Brad was talking about his Showtime type of scenario, and he mentioned the world heavyweight champion of the world, formerly Mike Tyson. And our biggest fan of the show is Plamen Ivanov, who's the chairman of iIntro, whose birthday is today.
Yes, Plamen!
Happy birthday, Plamen!
But Plamen
has
a great quote, Brad, that I want you to take on, because it's related to this business development planning, what you're talking about the bandwagon show. And it says, and the quote from Mike Tyson is, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah. And the point here is, if you get to January or February, you're going to be punched in the face. Now save yourself the pain and actually start the planning now. That's what you need to do, because as Brad said at the start of the show tonight, we're actually running towards that Christmas thing. So recruiters are looking for, hey, listen, December's a great time to get holidays because nobody's making decisions. Well, be the person who's going to hit the ground running in 2024. Position yourself so that you know what your plan is. Brad gave a really eloquent overview of those 5 Ps there, and you can learn from that. And I say there'll be people listening here who won't be able to attend, but you can pick up the summary of that, and actually the essence of it is, I need to get doing something.
Absolutely. And also the other thing as well, is listen, coaching isn't about people just for people that maybe might be struggling or have lack of confidence. Coaching is for really good people.
Yeah.
But how do I go from good to great? And why not get checked? And I always say, listen, if you want to get strong, you want to get fit, you're going to go to the gym, you're going to hire a coach and try and figure it out for yourself, or any aspect of life. The best rugby coaches, golf coaches, F1 drivers all have a coach. I've got a coach. I've got 2 coaches. So let's make sure we've got a coach just to body check us really on how we can get there. And ultimately, I set it up for next week, right on Christmas, because I know people want to wind down. As of December the 1st, the Christmas parties start. But why not go away and have a great Christmas going, I've got a plan for next year, and go home, revitalize with what you're going to do that I'm confident I can help you with, and you'll help you with, and all the people you meet on the program. So you know what? I can't wait for January the 1st, and oh my God, it's another year of back to work. Let me help you, motivate you, and inspire you for next year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I've got one final quote for you, James.
Go on, then.
Just help you with that.
I bet it won't be the last one.
Just because you might be successful already, right? Complacency is the greatest barrier to success.
Oh, yes.
So come and challenge yourself. That's what I was taught a long time ago, and I do my best. But now and again, I suddenly get someone that tells me I've got complacent about a personal situation, my own business, and I might check someone who I might compete with, or I hear what else, and I'm like, my God, I got complacent and I had no idea. And I call it unconscious incompetence. We don't know what we don't know. So maybe reach out. And just to summarize, James, you said, if they're hearing it from their own bosses, they're hearing it from you. Why would we speak to Brad or anyone else? Because sometimes a different voice can help re-embed an idea you already knew, or it could be one little string to that bow. I got 6 on here. If anyone can teach me how to improve my guitar skills, please let me know. But that one string could seriously improve my capability. To go from using a capo to improving my bar chords. That can change your whole performance when you do gigs like I do. So it's the same kind of thing.
I don't think we've got Paul McCartney or John Williams listening, but hey, I'm sure there'll be some guitar coaches that'll be interested. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'll happily play to anyone. And the other thing I'll say with BD, don't worry about those people that don't want to buy from you. Find the people that do. Form that know, like, and trust. They'll pay you handsomely. You haven't got to win the market. Just a little piece that's profitable, and you got plenty. You can play all night. And
absolutely. Day. Who was it who said some will, some won't? So what? Next.
Some will, some won't. So what? Next.
Yeah.
Well done, Joe. You're bang on with that.
We've all done a quote now. There we are. We're quoted out, and we're bang on time, which is amazing.
And for that, and the last thing I want to say, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm just here to help people. I'm pumped. I can't wait for January the 1st once I've had a great Christmas. If you want some help to review where you're at, to really have some good ideas for next year to win new business, drop me a DM. I'll send you the information. And finally, a shout out to iIntro. I think I'm episode 49. The key thing in winning new business is being consistent. You guys are the definition of consistency. I've got to know you, James, very well. Joe more recently, Plumman as well, for a long time. And, keep your message consistent and never, ever give up. And, show what you do. Not everyone will buy from my intro, but that's their loss. But those that do, it could change your life and change your whole game on how you do business. And, you guys are, I think, are an awesome example to that. And Plumman, happy birthday, big guy, whatever boat you may be on, wherever you are. And
he's not about. He's sat at. He'll be in a restaurant in about 30 minutes when he's finished watching this.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk new business.
Yeah, Brad, I'm sure you've inspired a lot of people just to sort of get active.
Thank you very much.
That energy. Joe, what's coming up in a couple of weeks?
So we have got Leisha Holmes. So some of you will know Leisha. She's very, very well known. She owns Quay Recruitment, which is based in Manchester. And she is a legend when it comes to understanding the recruitment market. So we're going to be picking her brains around how to hire and retain the best talent in recruitment, which is another massive, massive topic. So look forward to that. That's in a couple of weeks. But for now, Brad, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you. Yeah, so we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. And everyone, if I don't see you before, have a great Christmas. I know we're a little bit way away, but I hope you all have a wonderful break as and when the time is due.
Thanks, Brad. Bye-bye,
Cheers,
everybody.
Guys. Have a great night.
Take care, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.